This is second episode of Physiology of Cardiac Muscle. In this video, I discuss action potential in cardiac muscle. Action potentials vary among cardiomyocytes in different regions of heart, which I will discuss in another video. Here, as a journal example, I explain action potentials of ventricular cardiomyocytes. The resting membrane potential of cardiac muscle is about minus 85 millivolt. Resting membrane potential of cardiomyocytes about minus 85 millivolt, and at the peak of depolarization, intracellular potential become plus 20 millivolt. At the peak of depolarization, see in this diagram, minus 85, minus 80. These are, I'm showing voltages in millivolt, and this is time in seconds. Minus 85 millivolt, minus 80, 60, minus 40, minus 20, 0, plus 20. This is zero potential, and here potential decreases, means it become in minus value, minus 20, minus 40, minus 60, and here it is plus 20. Resting membrane potential of cardiomyocytes is minus 85 millivolt, means here this is resting membrane potential. During depolarization, potential reaches up to plus 20 millivolt. Plus 20 millivolt. This is depolarization up to plus 20 millivolt. So it means during depolarization, the action potential recorded in cardiomyocytes is about 105. See, if in resting membrane potential in minus 85 millivolt, if we add 5 millivolt, it will reach up to minus 80 millivolt, and if we add further 20 millivolt, it will reach up to minus 60 millivolt, means this is minus 85 millivolt, and when we add plus 105 millivolt, it become minus 85 plus 105 is equal to plus 20 millivolt. During resting membrane potential, the intracellular potential is minus 85 millivolt, and at the spike of depolarization, potential is plus 20 millivolt. It means during depolarization, how much potential is generated? Plus 105 millivolt. Now, phases of action potentials of cardiomyocytes. Phases of action potentials of cardiomyocytes. First phase is phase 0. First phase is phase 0. This is phase of depolarization. Depolarization. If on this diagram I label the different phases of action potential, this is phase 0. This is phase 0, phase of depolarization. Action potential changes from resting membrane potential from minus 85 millivolt to the plus 20 millivolt. This is phase of depolarization. This is called phase 0. The other is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4. Phase 0 is phase of depolarization. Phase 1 is rapid. Phase 1 is initial repolarization. Phase 2 is plateau. Phase 3 is rapid repolarization, and phase 4 is resting membrane potential. This phase 0 occur due to opening of fast sodium channel. Fast sodium channel. Sodium channels, or these are also called voltage gated. Voltage gated sodium channels. Why these are called voltage gated? Because stimulus for opening of these channels is change in voltage. These channels open when there occur change in the voltages, so they are called voltage gated sodium channels. When action potential from SA node and AV node reaches up to cardiomyocytes through AV bundle, then due to change in voltage in cardiomyocytes, these voltage gated sodium channels or fast sodium channels open. As these voltage gated sodium channels open, there occur influx of sodium ions. Sodium ions move through these channels into the cardiomyocyte cell. As due to influx of sodium ions, depolarization occur and intracellular potential change from minus 85 millivolt to the 20 millivolt. The second phase is phase 1. Phase 1. This is phase of initial repolarization. See in diagram. Initial repolarization. This is phase 1, initial repolarization. This occur due to opening of a different type of potassium channels. Opening of a different type of potassium channels. There are many types of potassium channels in cardiomyocytes. These channels are different from fast or voltage gated potassium channels. This is a different type of potassium channel which open at the spike of depolarization. At the spike of depolarization, fast sodium channels close and these potassium channels open. Remember that the stimulus for opening of fast sodium channels or voltage gated sodium channel is also a change in the voltage, and the stimulus for closing of these sodium channels is also change in the voltage. When potential changes in cardiomyocytes, these voltage gated potassium channels open, and when change in the potential means potential become positive, potential reaches up to the value of plus 20 millivolt, this is stimulus for these voltage gated sodium channels to kilos, and at this point these voltage gated sodium channels open and these potassium channels open. Voltage gated sodium channels close and potassium channels open. As potassium channels open and sodium channels close, inward movement of sodium ions cease, and due to opening of potassium channels, movement of potassium ions from inside of the cell to outside occur. As due to outward movement of potassium channels, the intracellular potential drops, means repolarization occurs. The potential starts to decline from positive value. So this is, but these remain open for short time. So there is occur in initial small repolarization. The next phase is phase 2. Phase 2. This is phase 2. Phase 2 is plateau phase. Plateau. Plateau phase. This plateau phase occurs due to opening of shallow calcium sodium channels. Shallow calcium sodium channels. These shallow calcium sodium channels are also called L-type calcium channels. L-type. L-type calcium channels. They are called shallow because their opening is shallow. Before proceeding the phases of action potentials of cardiomyocytes, here understand the answer of a question. Why this plateau phase occur in cardiomyocytes, occur in cardiac muscle, and it does not occur in skeletal muscle? The answer is that in skeletal muscle there are only voltage gated sodium channels which causes depolarization and voltage gated potassium channels which causes rapid repolarization. In skeletal muscles there are no these slow calcium sodium channels which are responsible for plateau phase. In skeletal muscles these L-type calcium channels are not present. So plateau does not occur. And the other thing is that in cardiomyocytes there are a special type of potassium channels through which remain open throughout cardiac cycle, from which efflux of potassium ions occur every time throughout cardiac cycle, and this phenomena don't occur in skeletal muscles. When depolarization, after depolarization, phase 1, phase 0, after depolarization the shallow calcium sodium channels open in cardiomyocytes and these are not present in skeletal muscle. And remember that the stimulus for opening of these shallow calcium sodium channels is same change in voltages as for fast sodium channels, but they open later after these fast sodium channels because their opening is slow. Remember that the stimulus for opening of this L-type calcium channel is same as for voltage gated sodium channels. The initial change in voltage which occur due to action potential travel through AV bundle and reaches the cardiomyocytes, and that action potential causes a little change in the potential of cardiomyocytes which causes opening of voltage gated sodium channels. That change in voltage is stimulus for opening of voltage gated sodium channel. Also that change in voltage is stimulus for opening of these shallow calcium sodium channels, but they open rapidly. Their opening is rapid, but these channels are slow. Their opening is slow, so they open later, means in during phase 2. So when these channels open in cardiomyocytes, they cause the influx of calcium ions, calcium ion inward flow of calcium ions through these channels into the cardiomyocytes. The one reason, and the other reason is that due to flow of calcium ions into the cells, the potassium channels which are open every time throughout the cycle in cardiomyocytes, potassium channels which remain open all the time, means efflux of potassium ions through these channels occur every time throughout the cardiac cycle. So when calcium influx occur through L-type calcium channels, this calcium influx decreases the potassium outflux through these channels. Then what will happen? Number one, calcium influx will cause depolarization, will try to maintain depolarization. Number two, due to calcium influx, potassium efflux from these channels also decreases, means potassium ions retain in the nucleus, they don't go out of cell. Then the result is that due to retention of potassium ions, retention of potassium ions in cell, this again result in depolarization. They try to maintain depolarization. For these two reasons, plateau occur, and plateau occur in cardiomyocytes, and plateau don't occur in skeletal muscles, because in skeletal muscles there are no L-type calcium channels. There is no phenomena of potassium efflux through potassium channels which remain open all the time. So now phase 3. Phase 3 is phase of rapid repolarization. Rapid repolarization. This phase occurs due to opening of voltage gated potassium channels or fast potassium channels. Here also remember that the stimulus for opening of these voltage gated potassium channels, which are responsible for rapid repolarization, phase 3, stimulus for opening of these channels is also same initial voltage change, means stimulus for opening of voltage gated potassium channels, voltage gated sodium channels, and L type calcium channel is same, but they open in spite of same stimulus, they open at a different time, because the rate or velocity of opening, speed of opening of these channels is different. They are fast, they open very rapidly after stimulus, they are slow, and also so they open after the stimulus, after some time the stimulus, and these also open later because their opening is also slow. After stimulus they take some time to open fully. So when in phase 3 these slow calcium sodium channels close, and also the phenomena of retention of potassium ions is also sees, means when calcium influx sees these slow calcium sodium channels close, then potassium ions through these potassium channels starts to come out, and then the opening of voltage gated potassium channels occur. As voltage gated potassium channels open, means now no inward movement of sodium ions, no inward movement of calcium ions, and no retention of potassium channels. And now voltage gated potassium channels are opened, and efflux of potassium ions, rapid efflux of potassium ions start. Due to outward movement of potassium ions, the intracellular action potentials drop. Means now cell starts to repolarize. The potential return back towards its resting membrane potential, and it reaches up to its resting membrane potential, that is minus 85 millivolt. And the last phase is phase 4, in which the cell has returned to its resting membrane potential. In part 1, I have told you that duration of action potential in cardiac muscle is longer as compared to duration of action potential in skeletal muscle. The reason I have explained, due to presence of L-type calcium channels and these potassium channels, which causes plateau and longer duration of action potential in cardiac muscle, and as compared to skeletal muscle. In skeletal muscle, only depolarization and repolarization occur, so the duration of action potential is small. Velocity of conduction of action potential in atrial and ventricular muscle fibers is 0.3 to 0.5 meter per second, and this is 10 times less than the velocity in skeletal muscles. In next video, I will discuss excitation contraction coupling. Please give me feedback. I will accept your suggestions. Thank you.